Welcome back, everybody, to a fresh episode of Ask the Skinny Guy Savior. I'm Vince Del Monte, and I'm taking your personal questions directly off my Facebook fan page. And the first one is on nutrient and macro timing. This is from Boyd Stinnett. Great question here, and Boyd's looking frustrated, and we're going to help him. We're going to help everybody else here who's confused on this whole topic of does meal frequency matter? We have discussed this in the past. I'm sure it'll be a topic that gets beat to death over the next couple of years because people love to debate, but it's worth examining once more. So the question here is, traditional bodybuilding theory says that macro and meal timing is critical to put on muscle. Now, these intermittent fasting zealots, I believe it is, are saying getting macros for the day is all that matters. What do you think is optimal meal frequency and timing for most muscle gains? So I will answer this question in the context it's been given. It's been given in the context, how do we optimize muscle growth, muscle gains? So this is very important because it's going to be slightly different in terms of someone who just wants to lose fat. Someone who just wants to lose fat, lose weight, get lean, this advice I'm about to share is not as critical. For people who are looking to achieve a muscular physique, they're looking to maximize strength and fullness in the gym, what I'm about to share will apply to you. So the first thing, when you're taking advice from anyone, guys, on the internet, you have to ask yourself, who are they speaking to? Are they even speaking to me right now? Does this apply to me? Are my goals different? All right, so for guys who want to maximize muscle mass, bodybuilders, if you will. And essentially my definition of a bodybuilder is anybody who wants to gain muscle and lose fat. So if you want to gain muscle and lose fat, you're a bodybuilder. If your mom wants to gain muscle and lose fat, she's a bodybuilder. If your teenage son wants to build muscle and lose fat, he's a bodybuilder. All right, so virtually everybody's a bodybuilder, all right, in my opinion. That's how I view the term bodybuilding. All right, so let's get back on track. Let's just look at this in an order of importance. Number one, calories. We've discussed that. Got to be in a caloric surplus. You can't build muscle out of nothing. Two, macronutrients, absolutely critical, and they're going to be varied based on somebody's level of leanness, whether they're trying to gain muscle quickly, whether they're trying to do it progressively, their ability to tolerate carbohydrates, their insulin sensitivity. All these things will dictate somebody's ratios of proteins, carbs, and fats. And let's not forget, we need to make sure we're getting sufficient fiber and vitamins and minerals and phytochemicals. You guys know all that. Now, we've got that in order. What's the next step? Meal frequency. Does it matter? Absolutely, it matters. Why? Because there is an anabolic cap within every meal that we eat. You can only stimulate so much protein synthesis per meal. And this is where the people who are falling, I don't even want to label it because I'm going to get attacked by them. So I'm not going to label those people. But people who say that it doesn't matter, they're not stimulating protein synthesis as much. The key to achieving a muscular body is to stimulate protein synthesis as much as possible throughout the day. And the way we do that is by consuming approximately 30 to 45 grams of protein per meal, because that's most likely going to contain around 3 to 4 grams of leucine, which is this is the amino acid that's necessary for muscle growth. This is why we establish a regular meal cadence. If you want to debate about whether it's 2 hours or 6 hours, I don't care. But at the end of the day, people that are establishing a more regular meal cadence are, for the most part, going to achieve better physiques. I would say 90% of the time, it's going to work for 90% of the people. Of course, there's exceptions to these rules. Of course, you're going to find somebody who eats twice a day or once a day and looks phenomenal, and he's going to be, the poster boy for that. And that's fine. It's something that if it piques your curiosity, give it a shot. But I'm going to encourage you to try and look at the entire picture. What else are they doing? Is there stuff they're doing that you don't know? All right, you have to look at everything from a big picture perspective. So meal frequency does matter because there's an anabolic cap within every meal, and you can't make up for it by just having a bigger meal in the day. oh, I missed my last meal, so I'm just gonna have 100 grams of protein instead of 50 grams, and I'll be fine. No, you won't. You're not gonna stimulate as much protein synthesis. You can miss 3 of your meals and say, oh, I'm gonna just make up for it in my dinner. Well, you can, but you're not gonna stimulate as much protein synthesis as if you were to have those divvied up into multiple meals. So my encouragement to you, and I will stand by this until I find a more effective way that works for myself and my clients, because again, I don't learn in the classroom. I take what I hear in the classroom and I apply it to the real world, which is what matters. That's what people pay me for. People pay me to get them results in the real world. And the real world has shown me and my clients 90% of the time, 90% of them will do better on some sort of regular meal cadence, because we are creatures of habit. At the end of the day, you have to figure out an optimal meal frequency that allows you to get your macros in, but at the same time stimulates protein synthesis on a regular basis. From the recent and most convincing research that I've read, eating at least 5 meals a day with 1 shake is probably going to be the best route to maximize muscle growth. I have seen my best gains having 5 meals a day with 1 shake. My clients have seen their best gains having 5 meals plus 1 shake in terms of muscle growth. I have tried eating doing everything in 2 meals, in 3 meals. I have seen better results stimulating protein synthesis more frequently. Now, you are free to experiment with both methods, and I encourage you to learn by doing, and don't take my word for it. I'm sharing what has been proven to myself multiple times and what I've prescribed to my clients, and it works for them. I would say it works for 90% of them 90% of the time. 5 whole food meals a day plus 1 shake a day is what I have found to be optimal for muscle growth, and to obviously, it's crazy you have to even state this, that yes, having a degree of flexibility built into your diet is normal. It's important. It's critical. I recommend for the best results to abide by your plan 90% of the time. When you're looking to dial it in, will you see results falling at 70%, 80%? Probably. But if you're looking for like the fastest results, following that regimen 90% of the time will, I guarantee you, help you achieve your best results. All right? Try it out. Learn from doing, not by debating, not by talking about it, and not by repeating what you heard somebody else say somewhere else. All right? Because at the end of the day, you have to believe this yourself. All right? That's what really matters. And you have to have results to show for it. Let me ask you a question. I want to throw this in there as well. Have you ever noticed people on the internet who are getting stressed out and upset about other people who have established some sort of regular meal cadence? So let's say, for me, example, I tell people I eat every 3 to 4 hours, and then people say to me, Vince, that's unnecessary. They'll go, Vince, that's painful, or that's stressful. Speak for yourself. Don't transfer your bad experience or assume that your bad experience is my bad experience. All right? And don't assume that on others as well. The only people I see getting stressed out about eating on a regular basis are people that are watching others do it. It's crazy. I'm like, my clients are fine eating 5 meals a day and 1 shake. They don't complain to me. They're getting results. They like it. It gives their day structure. It's not some sort of mountain. It's not some sort of impossible task. It doesn't ruin their lives. It doesn't ruin their social environment. It doesn't ruin their day. It doesn't cause unnecessary stress. So don't assume that just because you had a bad experience with it, that it's ruining, that they're having a bad experience with it. You have to understand there's different ways to skin a cat. Ultimately, we're all following the same big picture principles, but some people find having a regular meal cadence to be more effective. All right? And if you can't live with that, well then tough luck. All right, that's it, guys. So make sure you subscribe to the channel. Also, to stay fully connected with what I'm doing, we do a lot of contests and giveaways over at my fan page. Go on over and visit Vince Del Monte fanpage.com, and you can stay connected all the time and you won't miss a thing. Until next time, I'm Vince Del Monte. Thank you so much for watching.